allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The rules of procedure adopted annually to ensure a productive meeting. The select board meetings are in the public, not of the public, meaning that the members of the public in attendance are entitled to the opportunity to comment, but the purpose of the meeting is for the board to be able to effectively and efficiently conduct the necessary business to govern the town. All questions and comments are to be directed to the chair, and the rules of procedure indicate that there will be 2 minutes allotted for comment from any single person on any single topic. The rules of procedure are posted in the town hall and available for everyone to review.
Did it? Good thing the cover's on. You got it?
All right.
Thank you.
Jessica's got a bonus and under her treasurer's report there too, so we'll have to make sure we put that in a safe place. Or do you have it? Will you be able to get it for her?
Yes.
Get it to her.
Yeah. Okay, so tonight we have Mike Beecher, Tom Collard, and Rich Hewlett, and I'm Kristen Powers, and I've got everybody else signed in, and we all know the drill. So, just one addition tonight. I met with Tom earlier, and we have some additional information about the constable's request for an appointment for special officer. So, adding that again under old or unfinished business. And I have no other additions or deletions. And the meeting minutes that need approval are from our last meeting, which was October 29th. And I made an edit to the zoning administrator's report. I had to correct, I made a typo in the number of permits year to date. I think that was it. So everything else was as it was when I submitted it or distributed it.
Okay.
I will move to approve those minutes.
I will second it.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Okay. So pre-requested, Kim Ayers had requested to be here tonight, but she had a scheduling conflict, so she was not able to be here, but asked that I let everybody know that there is a tax sale scheduled for November 19th at 12 p.m. and requested that a member of the board be present in attendance for on the town's behalf in the event that no one bids. The properties are the Mead Mullen property and, sorry if I butcher the pronunciation, but Biondi in West Pawlet. So I know that Bob usually
So
does.
it's down to just 2 properties now?
Yeah, well, she had written Mead/Mullen and Biondi.
Okay.
Bob did mention
there
to
were
me that
4.
he wanted to.
That he'd be there. There were 4. Okay, well, those are the only ones. Maybe there are 4 within that scope, but that's all that Kim wrote. So Bob,
The initial email from last week or something did list 4 properties.
okay.
So,
Well, there is a tax sale on November 19th, so
okay.
everybody should show up if they want to know which properties are going to be there.
Okay.
But Bob Jones usually attends on behalf of the board, so
Okay.
I can make a note and ask if he can be there.
Did she send you an email with that information?
Mm-hmm.
Would you forward that to me, please? Thank you.
Yeah. I'm going to do that right now so I don't forget. Okay. All right.
Any announcements?
Yes, from Jessica, there's a reminder that there is a public meeting scheduled for Saturday, November 16th at 1 p.m. to discuss the pedestrian accessibility project, which is the sidewalk project. First, there will be an outdoor site walk followed by a presentation here at the town hall.
Okay. Did she say where everybody's going to meet, or at the town hall here in Milwaukee, probably? Or?
I think so.
Okay.
Didn't say, but
Okay, so I guess we need to refresh. If 3 of us are there, we're not conducting any business, so 3 select board members could still be there to listen, right? And we talked about that before.
Mm-hmm.
As long as no business is conducted.
You can't
or
talk amongst
discussed.
each other. That's it.
What?
You can't talk amongst each other in a setting. It's two can get together, as advisors or as a group.
The three of us can't talk about the project as
More than two when you get
Right.
into it.
Correct.
Right.
Okay. So, just wanted to make sure that was in case three of us show up, because I know Jessica's gonna be there and I'm gonna try to be there, so.
Yeah.
Anything else?
That's all I have for announcements, and the zoning administrator's report
See?
is up next.
And I really don't have much. We had,
Don't forget to talk into the
no, I'm not gonna talk.
imaginary microphone.
See what happens if you don't speak into the microphone and it doesn't go over the TV stuff. Yeah, right? What's the word?
So
She's like, I know.
I've received 4 short-term rental registrations already out of 15. So hopefully get the rest in before the first of the year. And the only other piece, I was hoping Bob Jones was going to be here to see if he had made contact with the parties that were concerned about the tree up by the cemetery. I put in a call to Rose as well to see if it was ever resolved, but haven't heard anything.
Okay.
I can make a note for Bob.
And that's for the grant, that grant application
Right.
for tree removal. So I'll put other stuff on there too, but that's a big
Okay.
one. That concludes my report.
Thank you very much. Anybody have any questions for Nancy?
No?
I do. In regards to that tree removal grant, do we have to identify a bunch of trees for that?
Sort of. But, so they can be identified like along roadways, so along this roadway or that.
Before you submit the application?
So I'll talk to you or whoever,
Okay.
see where we need the use. Another issue though, brought that up, that's not really a zoning issue, but I hike up on Clerk Road, and 3 times now I've seen vehicles try to get through there because their GPS is sending them that way. It would be great if the town could post a sign up there that says like, this is a 3rd-class road, turn around, something like that, or don't pay attention to your GPS. Because the other thing is, it's like a muffler graveyard up there now too. So, don't
Oh,
know
man.
what it can be done, but people don't know. And as I said, their GPSs are routing them through there.
We could likely put a sign up that says that this road is not maintained.
Right.
I've seen those signs.
Turn around.
Is that on this side or on West Pawlet side?
I go in from this side, so I don't know if the West Pawlet side looks pretty good when you're coming up through there. It's this side that looks pretty,
Yeah, I was up there the
Sketchy.
other day.
and then they can't turn around.
Once they get in there,
Yeah.
about 100 feet.
Welcome to Vermont.
Yeah, exactly. It's that place where it gets all ledgy.
Is that road in really bad condition, or?
I haven't been over it in a
No,
long
it's not bad.
It's not bad, but I don't have this on. It's people that are not in trucks, they're
Right.
just in a regular little,
Now, you can report that to who? You can go in some way and tell them to take that out of their system, but you'd have to know what system they're using. I have seen signs of that, because I remember back when those people drove down the railroad tracks and had a misfortune. And I remember that being on the news. That was quite a few years ago. But there is signs up north I've seen in other towns that
Yeah.
say that it's a class 4 seasonal road, not
Maintained.
passable by
Like
passenger
Suncrest
vehicles.
Road, they have a sign that say they don't plow it in the winter, but it doesn't say anything other than that.
and I don't even know if some of these people would know what a 3rd-class road is, because they're usually not local plates that I've seen going up through there,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, so you almost got to tell them a little bit.
turn around.
It's kind of like going to the notch and stuff. Okay.
You
That's
make
good to
some
know.
hand-painted signs.
Yeah.
Just nailed to a tree.
Maybe Vermont League of Cities and Towns has some standard thing.
Maybe they do.
I mean, just thought I'd bring that up.
That's good to know, thank you.
Paul's Towing is very happy about it.
He wants to leave cards there.
Leave card.
So they've had to tow cars out of there?
Yeah,
Wow.
they just bottom, evidently he's telling me they just bottom out and,
Huh.
Just before you get to that ledge, there was a pretty good
mhm.
wash, I guess, whale.
Hmm.
Planning Commission? Nothing. Road Foreman?
So no report, but the Highway Department is looking forward to welcoming a third member to the team. Mike is starting on November 18th
Okay.
and is in a preliminary period as we await all of the pre-employment testing to come back. So that's exciting. So we're gonna have a full 3-member team. The town truck sale. So we had one potentially interested buyer who came to look at the truck and kind of has fallen off the hook a little bit. But I thought it would be worth talking about tonight what the board feels like the bottom line is that you'd all like to be able to accept for that truck, so that if and when we continue to get interested buyers, we could at least say, hey, this is the number that the town is willing to accept. And then can kind of make,
Do you think we want to share that number in open meeting?
Yeah, no, we're not gonna say that number out loud. I was wondering if you would just write that number down on a paper and pass it to us and see what we think. And
for everyone out there that wants to bargain with
I
us.
want to do an executive session to do this.
Well, no. So maybe you can talk like
No, we don't have, I know, he's just gonna
independently.
give us, he's just gonna pass it down and we just say yea or nay.
With question marks all over it.
Right, or however you want to do it. You don't have to talk about it right now, but
Well, we could even do that in email, couldn't we?
you could yes.
You could do a sign on it that says make an offer or send in, and with the envelope and the stamps and everything right there.
Yeah, that's not
No,
working.
right. So like
But we need to know what we'll take for minimum, so.
so anyway, something to think about.
Okay.
Okay. And then I have it under old business, but because it's road related. So I talked to Mark Keela this afternoon from Northshire Networks about the cameras. So we had a nice conversation, and we are planning to get together Friday morning, maybe, to go and just take a look here and over in West Pawlet. And we'll look, and he's going to put together a couple of proposals on the cameras to be able to have the highway department be able to check out the road conditions. So the two questions that he had, so the plan is like him and I will get together, we'll look at the two sites, he'll put together some proposals for you all to look at, and then hopefully we can make a decision at our next meeting. He works with a number of other municipalities for similar camera needs, but is wondering A, what the budget is for this project, and B, wanted to confirm what the Wi-Fi was over in West Pawlet. And I was like, oh, we have a hotspot over there, and I don't think that is quite what he was looking for. So I didn't know if the West Pawlet, so I thought the wastewater treatment facility has Wi-Fi, and or if that didn't work, maybe we could talk to the West Pawlet Fire Department about,
The treatment
Just a
facility has
second.
Wi-Fi,
they do have Wi-Fi.
but I'm not sure if it's been upgraded yet
Okay.
to the,
Jessica, she's not here, but I remember her saying in the planning commission stuff, is that the Fidium folks are going to give us a free internet spot there. It could be fiber to the sewage plant,
oh,
and
right.
we could be hooking up to that.
The Fidium is good, it's supposed to give us a fiber hotspot for the
Okay.
public good.
Okay.
But the Fidium fiber, I don't know, they're connecting a lot in town right now.
Free.
But I don't know if they connected the sewer plant yet or not.
Okay.
But it should, in the short term, near future, it should have fiber.
Okay. So I guess the big question is when I get together with him, and so he can put together a proposal, is what the budget.
The thing, I have no idea what anything like that would even be.
What we should do is get prices.
Okay. So I'll just say, money is no option. No, I'll just
Well, we have
ask
to
him.
have an
yeah.
idea. We want
I
to
said that I wasn't sure. So So maybe we can just put together some prices. I said 2 cameras. He agreed with everybody else, not me, about not having it be a webcam on the internet because that's a little bit more like top of the ski resort, wanting to know what the conditions are. And when the highway department is trying to get on there to assess what the road conditions are, everybody else in town might also be on there, and it would, make it not a great and efficient information gathering tool. But anyhow, to be continued. That'll be on the agenda for the next week.
I think I'd like to see our pricing come back with good, better, and best type deal.
Sure.
I
Okay.
mean, there was a
Yeah.
conversation
Yeah, right,
about
some options, because, I have no idea what to say for any kind of budget, because
Okay.
I've never bought.
I mean, we got
What do you
cameras
think?
on our facilities, and I can tell you what those cost, but
Right.
I don't think it's gonna tell you the temperature of the road that was brought up in the last conversation, and it might, the pixels are really good. I mean, I can
Right.
identify people, so.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he said that technology has come a really long way, and that we could definitely find something to fit our needs. So.
Yeah, I definitely would be curious to know what his recommendations are too, and why, with the good, better, and best. Maybe it's only 2 lines, but
Yeah.
that's a thought I would have.
Maybe invite him to a meeting.
Maybe. Yeah. We'll have more information at our next meeting.
He could come in by Zoom.
He sure could.
So
Okay.
that's good for the road foreman's report?
Yes.
Okay. Anything from the assessor's office?
Nope.
Anything from the, signature for removal of drums from it?
Is it for me?
School Street.
Yes,
Oh,
that's
hi Deb, I
Deb.
didn't even realize you were here.
Um,
Good evening.
So I sent it to you, Mike, and also to Kristen from ABS Loot on the spill response and how they sent this form with my name on it to sign, but I felt that I should check with you as a board first to make sure that you were okay with me signing this.
I don't remember seeing it.
So the form it's from the folks that did the removal, the sandblasting on the
Uh-huh.
bottom of the School Street Bridge, and they just need permission essentially from the town to be able to remove all the drums and everything that's over by the bridge.
Just to remove all the barriers and, because everything else is in order, or just, so.
Yeah, they just need permission to be able to get to set up to do the removal.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I think
Did you get it, Mike?
I don't believe I got it, Deb. I don't know, or I wasn't paying attention. I'm not sure, but I don't remember seeing it.
All right, well, like in the first paragraph, it says, I hereby authorize Absolute Spill Response LLC to act for me and on my behalf as the agent for the sole and exclusive purpose of placing its signature on profile and/or shipping documents, due only to my inability to sign such documents in an emergency and/or at the time of consignment of the load. I hereby declare that although my signature, it's kind of referring to the person who signs it, does not personally appear on the profiles and/or the shipping documents, I retain sole and exclusive responsibility for the waste information contained on the profile, proper packaging, shipping, classification, marking, and labeling of all items being shipped. So I hereby hold Absolute Spill Response LLC and its heirs, executors, and administrators, and successors and assigns harmless from all manner of actions, cause of actions, suits, damages, judgments, and claims and demand which I or my successors or assigns hereafter can, shall, or may have against Absolute Spill Response as a result of its acting on behalf of myself for purposes of signing shipping documents. So, not knowing at all what they're going to be removing, I felt that you as a board might be better versed in what I would be signing here. I can't hear anything right now.
I'm just looking it over real quick.
Oh, okay, thank you.
pollution liability exposure that they're holding harmless for, that means it's on the town. And you may want to check with BLTC's insurance policy to see if they want you to sign this at all. Because if you don't have insurance and it runs into some money, it could be an unknown amount. That would be a BLTC insurance question on that signature for the hold harmless. Which may need a legal advice from them as well.
Nancy?
Do they identify what material they're removing?
It's likely the paint on the old paint on the bridge. They're cleaning those, the I-beams, all the paint from the 30s or whenever they
Is
put
it
that
lead
bridge in.
paint?
I would imagine there's some,
So,
There's nothing identified in this letter.
right, but I don't know, I'm a little bit, I'd like more information before you signed it, honestly, just from any experience I've had with that stuff.
Yeah, I just didn't feel comfortable with it being sent to me with my name on it and asking for my signature, having no knowledge at all of what.
and they
they're
never
talking
sent us the
about.
profile either, because they sample that waste, and there's a profile, and that determines where the waste goes. And they didn't send you a profile of what the waste is, right?
It doesn't say where it's going.
Right, but what they
It
do
doesn't
is,
make reference. Let me see, where did I see that?
It looks to me like they're saying that.
I think we need.
Yeah, it says, I retain sole and exclusive responsibility for the waste information contained on the profile, proper packaging, shipping, classification, marking, and labeling.
I think by us signing that, we're responsible for what happens.
I would suggest you get copies of all of this, the bill of lading,
Mhm.
the manifest, an MSDS sheet before you sign anything.
And the
Right.
profile of the
Yeah.
material.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And they're also saying that they're not responsible for all the markings and stuff like that on the barrels, the way I'm reading it. That whoever signs that paper has to be sure that all the markings and stuff are correct on the barrels? Or am I not, or am I reading into it?
I don't know, but I'm not gonna be that person.
I don't blame you, that's why I don't,
But the lawyer potentially, because of their insurance questions, has boilerplated an absolute protection for them. In which case, your lawyer or BLTC as the insurance company may want to weigh in on that.
Is this
I think
company,
that's, I think,
So,
if you
do we
could
want to,
ship that up to our friends at BLTC and say, you know, we have this lead abatement job going on at the bridge and they want us to sign this, what's your opinion?
Deb, would you like me to do that, forward it along and copy you?
Sure,
Okay.
that would be great.
Because they're asking you to be responsible for the profile, the proper packaging, the shipping classification, the marking and labeling.
And this is really a common practice throughout the state. So they're gonna, VLCT is gonna recognize what's going on.
Yeah,
but is this a company that we're hiring to do
They're a
this?
subcontractor to the
fact-
company we
I don't like
hired.
the fact that they're saying we're responsible for that, so. All right, so good, I'm glad you brought that to our attention and we'll work through that and figure out who gets to sign it. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. Thank you. I only have two other little things. I talked with Matt Corey, and he's going to take care of a couple of more small things having to do with the equipment installation from PEG TV. But he wants to go hunting, so he said that it'll be after he gets back. And the two things that need to be done are very minor. One is to put an outlet up high with that monitor that's up over the top of Kristen's head. So there'll be an outlet up high, so there doesn't need to be a extension cord there. And the other is down lower, there'll be a quad box instead of a single box. There are two outlet box. And just a quick update on the election. Had a great election team. we put through 933 ballots into the tabulator. That's a pretty high number for us, and I'm very, very grateful and appreciative of the folks who helped with the early processing and the election day procedures. Myself and another clerk in the district canvassed today, declared the winner of the state rep race. And that person has been notified, and as you are all probably aware, it's Chris Pritchard. And that's all I have for this evening.
Okay, so this afternoon or yesterday you sent a letter from Pam Clapp. Do you have any idea why she's looking for piles of tires?
Oh yeah, no, I don't know what that's all about. That's the first time that she's ever asked that, and I didn't think that we had any record source of that. I mean, how do we know if people have tires illegally
Yeah, so
piled up somewhere?
this is from Solid Waste, and she wants to know if there's any piles of tires legally on farms, illegally on farms, how much we pick up on the road, and how much we pick up on Green Up Day,
As far as tires go?
as far as tires.
Yeah,
Do you have to have any kind of permit to have tires on your farm? Do you know? I mean, that just seemed like, I was unclear of the whole letter. I didn't know if anybody else had any thing on it.
No.
Okay.
I don't know why they would ask for farms, though. I mean, I would be asking for automotive places of
Yeah.
business to have a pile of tires that we drive all by and we
Is
see
she
them.
with enforcement, or?
She's, Pam Clapp is in charge of solid waste, Rutland County Solid Waste.
Or is she looking for tonnage to try to figure out
I'm not,
how to get rid of it?
unless they got some deal on how to get rid of them or something, maybe,
That'd be great if they came up with one.
right? So, I have no
Well,
idea.
Casella's doing a big collection in the next week or so. They collect thousands of tires, and they allow people to come in and buy tires at a discounted rate that have legal tread on them. They can buy a set of tires for, $5 a piece.
Oh, yeah, I've seen.
So maybe has something to do with it.
Hard to,
And then they dispose of the ones that are not legal.
Yeah.
And then the rest of them, they sell them to folks.
Where is this at?
Casella puts it on. I think it's in Rutland.
In the next week, couple of weeks?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else for Deb tonight? Anyone?
No.
Thank you for joining us, Deb. Have a good evening.
thank you. You too.
That's all I do, Julie.
It's a big one this week. 2 warrants, payrolls 11,445.85, accounts payable 138,750.61. The breakdown is general fund monies 20,343.51, highway fund 129,091.95, and wastewater 761. This does include a $100,000 payment towards the bridge because that was the first invoice that I got, which apparently was supposed to be the last invoice that I got. Kristen did reach out to Daniels, and right before I left my house, I checked my work email, and they did send me an invoice, but it isn't on this. So I guess I would ask you to, I don't have the exact figure, so I guess whatever you're comfortable with, it's 463,000 plus. I don't know what the exact number is, but it comes up with the 536, whatever, that the proposal was. If you would like to amend, make a motion to approve the payroll warrant as listed with an addition of approximately $436,000 to finish off paying Daniels, then we can start the process of getting the reimbursement from the state and closing out that grant. But I didn't get it until
Okay, so
late.
So that seems like it makes good sense to us to get the ball rolling to get the money back as much as we can.
So what do we do? Don't accept the
So
100?
what we do is we'd make one motion for the payroll warrant, right? 25,028, vote and approve that, and then we'll make an amended motion for the accounts payable warrant. warrant? Or can we just do it all together like we always do? We just amend the accounts payable?
I think you could make a motion to approve the warrants as presented with the addition of the approximately $436,000 invoice from Daniels that came in late. If you said it that way, then at the
That's-
next meeting, I will give you an updated warrant for you all to look at and sign that will be 138,750.61 plus exactly what that number is.
Sound all right to you guys?
Yeah, I'll move to approve payroll warrant 25028 for $11,445.85.
I will second that.
And I will also, well,
Yeah, and
I think
Right.
we-
Oh, I'm sorry.
we do
That's
it.
all right.
and the
It's good.
amended,
well, so you want me to, so I'll move on this payroll warrant,
If you would like to
250.
wait 5 minutes, I can go open my email, if that makes everybody feel a little more comfortable.
No, I think that's fine.
well,
I
if
don't-
you would just, if it's that easy for you, I think it would just be much cleaner all the way around, even though it's all stuff we've been approved and stuff, but,
So does that have to be included in this motion?
yeah.
Or will it be a
Yeah,
separate?
Right.
so in the discussion.
So we'll hold on that, we
So it'll
won't
be
vote on that. We'll-
A motion to approve payroll and accounts payable, and then under the discussion, it'll be an amendment to the accounts payable to include the
So
additional
we'll
two.
just leap over the rest of the treasures. Does Bob have any emergency management tonight?
Yep, so Bob and Mr. and Mrs. Evans, the three of them attended a statewide tabletop exercise at Rutland Regional Planning Commission to prepare the emergency management teams for the full-scale exercise, which is to be administered by FEMA. And Bob also virtually attended a Get to Know the Red Cross presentation.
Okay.
And Jennifer sent me a report as well, and Jennifer attended 2 trainings for the town health officers, one for emergency preparedness and another for outdoor air quality.
Okay. And anything from the wastewater treatment plant? I haven't heard anything,
I
everything.
think reports, Jill sent reports along, and it was just the
Yeah, they're
standard.
just, and they had to do some calibration and some extra
Yep.
testing and stuff, but nothing out of the ordinary. Facilities, haven't heard anything on any of the facilities that we're lacking of or anything like that.
Did we talk to, I haven't, did you talk to the highway department about, what was it? They needed to take care
Oh,
of,
cutting the brush around that in the spring?
Yeah,
Not-
so that's not
a
necessary
springtime
now.
kind of a job.
We did talk to Johnny Haynes about cutting the brush on the gable end of this building
Yeah.
when he comes to do the other project.
which
Yeah,
should be happening next week, I think.
Trimming up the side.
Mhm.
Did he work on the North Pawlet Road?
Not
Monday?
yet. No, because Monday, the highway department was off for
Holiday.
Veterans Day. So I know Damon had said that if he wasn't able to make it this week, it would be next.
Okay. And then we already talked about cameras.
Mhm.
You're so speedy. Thank you. That's the new 58, 195, 61. All right.
So I'll make a motion to approve payroll warrant number 25029 for $580,195.61.
Accounts payable, but.
Can you read that number one more time?
Accounts
Five.
payable,
5.
580,195.61.
Okay.
And I go ahead and second that.
Thanks.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
do you need anything from Patrick? He offered, I responded to him and included you in my response, but do you want his support at all? Do we want his support at all in that grant closeout process?
Yeah.
So we can set up a time to talk to him maybe?
Sure.
Okay.
You want me to put that right in the folder? Or if
That
you
can
want-
go in this folder.
I'm fresh off the across the street
Library
show,
work.
and it was a I've never seen anything like it.
This goes this way, right?
Yeah, I'll take that.
Take that.
I owe it to yourself.
Watch it, you got it. This is it.
Is there anything else you have to share with us tonight? Okay.
I think that the special should take over the operations of the library.
So now we're down to special officer request from constable. So we got a little bit more
Yeah, so I have
information on that.
continuation of that. Okay, so after the last meeting, so feel free to interrupt me, Tom, whenever. But so after the last meeting, we had discussed my sending the information that we got from the VLCT over to Tom about the special officer appointment, because initially the VLCT had emailed us back saying, because you have 2 constables, you're not in a position to be able to appoint anybody else, and you would have to go through an election and shift the structure basically of how your law enforcement exists. And if we wanted to do anything, we would need to contract with law enforcement. So then Tom had found a statute in the Vermont state statutes that talks about the appointment of a special officer, which is exactly what Tom had requested. So earlier this afternoon, Tom and I talked, and I had reached out again to the VLCT, and they wrote back. I had forwarded it to you all earlier this evening, but Sue Senning had said that she was made aware of a statute that might effectuate the goal to appoint a special police officer. I originally responded with the constable position in mind and didn't find this provision until it was pointed out. She sent along a link to a statute. This statute allows the select board to appoint a temporary police officer. My understanding is that this would only allow them authority to provide law enforcement within the town, and the criteria in section 1931A would also apply. While this authority exists, I'd recommend contacting passive law enforcement consultant Trevor Whipple, passive underwriting, and passive loss control to see if the town should exercise the authority, what the training folks think about the position, etc. Sorry again that I missed this the first time around. In the meantime, Tom also has already had a conversation with Trevor Whipple that said that this is all well and good. Rupert actually just went through the same process. In doing this and making this appointment, the individual as the special officer would fall under the town's insurance through the VLCT. And then also what I've done, so Rupert just did this. They appointed Tom as a special officer. So I reached out to a member on the Rupert Select Board that was the representative in doing that entire process to see what their whole chain of events looked like. But Tom was at the Rupert meeting when the appointment was made, and they made a motion and seconded it. And then Tom went on to provide insurance information to the VLCT.
Okay.
So that is the updated storyline. Did I miss anything?
No.
Okay.
And you said it listed temporary. What does that exactly mean? That just mean that the jurisdiction is only covered in the town that you're
Well,
appointed?
that's the same as,
Yes.
it's the same law enforcement authority that we have. We only have it in the town. So temporary, I take that to mean that you can remove that appointment.
Right.
At your,
It doesn't matter. It's
Discretion.
not like a set time.
Right.
It's just that you can have it until we decide we don't want to give it to you anymore.
Correct.
For whatever reason, we can take it away. Okay. All right.
Do they want any contractual relationship?
Didn't,
Do they want any contractual relationship or anything in writing in regards to the appointment and the association? And do we want anything in writing from the insurance company? Like a rider to their policy would stipulate the allowance of this.
so I don't know the answer to that question confidently, but just to inform everybody of the statute that we had referenced when I circled back around with the VLCT. So it's 1936, and it's for special police officers and their qualifications. And it states, if the legislative body of a municipality does not establish a police department or appoint a chief of police, temporary police officers appointed pursuant to subsection 1931A of this title shall serve under the direction of the legislative body. Persons appointed as law enforcement officers under the provisions of this chapter before exercising any law enforcement authority shall complete a course of training under, and then it lists a bunch of different chapters and numbers, which is standard policy for any law enforcement agent. That's my understanding, that those trainings are ones that you go about having prior to becoming a law enforcement officer or agent.
that's correct.
Does the first part of that say, I maybe I heard it incorrectly, if there isn't any law enforcement agency that the select board can go ahead and do this, or is that congruent, is simultaneous?
So it's if we do not establish a police department or appoint a chief of police.
Meaning, and if we abolish the constable positions, or how's
No,
that
so we
work?
don't have a police department or
Right.
a chief of police.
Okay, but we have constables, so that doesn't matter. Constables are constitutional constables.
Yes.
Right.
So I would like to review these emails a little bit more before I.
And I have one question too. In regards to what you just read, it sounds like when we appoint him, we have to have a job description. Is that right? Just,
No, that's not how I.
So, title shall serve under the direction of the legislative body.
Which
They
would
need
be
to,
the
which is
board.
the board. There needs to be trainings that they've gone through, which should already have been gone through, but we would have to double check that. And then we could continue to review this subsection 1931A, but it doesn't say anything about a specific description of the duties.
Yeah, just to clean it up, I just make sure that you have the paperwork in a file that outlines everything, and if it's go, it's go. If you got the paperwork, then it's not hearsay if something happens. You say, this is what we're told, it was given to us, it's from BLTC, from the insurance company, and we're golden.
Wells used to have that too, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Officer Hokus was appointed special officer over there as well.
Okay.
They still have that. I think they still have that position. The training they're referring to in that statute is his certification. He's a level 3 certified officer for the state of Vermont. You have to maintain that training every year. You have to have a certain amount of training hours, 30 training hours I think it is, to keep your certification. So he's been a police officer for 26
Right.
years. He has all the training.
Okay.
and he can train as well. correct?
Absolutely. He's an FTO, a field training officer, so he can train us as well. So it's an extra benefit having him on board.
All right, that,
Is the town's thought process is to get you trained so then you could take that over, Tom?
I have the opportunity to take field training. It's a course you have to go through the academy. So I would have that opportunity as well, yeah, certainly.
In the case of an event, who's the chief, or who's the boss, if he's involved?
the legislative body, Frank had
Right.
said.
Yes.
Yeah, but during
He
the
works for the
actual,
legislative.
actual if something going on that law enforcement's responding to.
There is no chief, Frank. Each officer has equal authority, just like the first constable, second constable. They all have equal authority. He would have the same authority I have, same authority that Dave has as well.
If you're pulling somebody over or arresting somebody or anything.
Correct. Yep.
And I know that you had mentioned at a previous meeting that there would be no change in the budget.
There's no change in the current budget. We may have to make provisions for that, in 25. But his experience, his contribution to help us out here would be priceless, as far as I'm concerned.
Sure.
Did he have a specific rate that he would want?
He didn't mention that, no.
He did mention that. Okay.
I had a discussion with him the other day. I told him that where we were at our current rate, and he didn't oppose that. So
that would be very important for us to know by next Tuesday. Is our
certainly, yeah, I can get that information.
Oh, the budget meeting.
right?
Budget meeting.
Is our budget meeting where we would plan for the budget starting July of 2025.
Yep.
So that would be something we would kind of need to work out between
Certainly.
now and then, so we can see if we will maybe should consider adjusting that line. Okay. Anything else under old or unfinished business? Do we have any new business?
I got new business maybe, Mike. Signs. I was talking with Tom about a sign over on Route 153 as you're coming into the West Pawlet Village. And there was a sign that has been knocked down, and it was next to that culvert right in front of my house. It says reduce speed ahead. And then there's a 30-mile-an-hour sign right past that driveway that goes up into the farm on the right side, or the trailer, the old trailer there. And so I went and searched. I didn't see nothing on the ground in there, but I think that happened a couple winters ago, because I remember a guy happened to be towed out of there. And then the other place is Egg Street. When you're coming up Egg Street from Hebron, there's no stop sign or yield sign up in there anymore. And I think it was a stop sign. But I know at one time
there was, the plan suggested making that a yield sign, so it was easier.
Where is that?
Or no,
Yes.
giving them the right of way and making a yield sign coming from by the store.
So as you're coming from Hebron in the West
31.
Pawlet on the Egg Street, you come up on the right-hand side. So you got, Dutchie's would be to your left, and the
You mean
Monroe-
Yeah.
right,
yeah,
Does
Railroad
to
Ave.
jump onto 153.
Yep. Yeah, and there's nothing there, and I agree with Mike in the sense of the not having a stop sign there, because in the wintertime trucks get hung up there all the time,
Right.
and then they're trying to back down on that bridge, and then they're just winging a prayer coming up over in there.
Right. When they did the village study there, they proposed putting a yield sign coming in from County Route 29, basically from in front of the old store, making that a yield sign, because it was very easily invisible to see what was coming and stop on a nice flat ground. And then anybody coming up from 31 Hebron Way would have the right of way.
That's a good
And
suggestion.
especially the trucks, because there's a lot of milk trucks come through there, feed trucks, so.
Would they need a traffic study for us to do that? Or could you just do it?
You can reach out to Patrick.
Well, I would think your traffic study was already done for the yield or stop sign at coming off 29 into Egg Street, on that Railroad Avenue. And the sign that was down, it was just replacing the one that was gone.
Right.
I mean,
Way up,
no, the one,
but the one you're
yeah, south of the West Pawlet Village.
Yeah.
Because we all knew, they've always been there to tell you to slow down at 30 or reduce your speed ahead. So, but I don't know if you need a traffic study to replace a sign that was already there.
Those two signs that were there that just need to be replaced, that's all.
That's it.
Those
We
are
just talked to Damon about that.
That's nothing but the.
but the two
village
in the
sign.
village there, it may require some kind of investigation.
That's the two signs that I'm aware of.
Yeah, there was also some concern right at that same intersection where the yield sign is placed. It's actually,
Can you
Middle
reach
of
out to
that line
somebody
right
about
by the time you see it,
That
you're already
signage.
in that intersection. There's a yield sign right there. And I had Mr. Leslie brought it up to my attention there a while
I
ago.
don't think I understand where
We thought about bringing the yield sign back a
the
little
yield
bit.
sign
Might
is.
affect both, those intersections might work better for that.
I'll get it. I don't quite I will reach out to, I'll talk to Damon about the reduced speed ahead and the speed limit sign because that's within our scope. And then I can reach out to Patrick Wilson with VTrans about the yield sign, but I just will need, I think I just drove through there today. Is it like you're heading through West Pawlet and you go down, like you're heading out towards 22
If you're gonna go 22 south,
to like go to Salem?
if you're at the rail trail, you go 22 south,
Down
you drive
the
down
hill.
over the hill, or 22 north, you go out by the old store.
So you
the
want it
store
as
way.
you're coming up the hill?
Yeah.
Okay, I know where you're talking
So the
about.
cars coming from the
Yeah.
southerly 22 would be able to just pop right up on that hill and not stop.
It's in the
If
front of
cars
the
coming
night.
from the store way.
That's what I do anyway. Are you not supposed to?
Depends on,
There's nothing there that you
it
can.
depends on who's got more nerve.
Choose your own adventure.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Just go for
That's
it.
what I do. Okay, well, that's good. I'll reach out to
I think
Patrick.
the building says 1920 in the roof.
No, which is Egg Street?
That's the one going down the hill.
That's the
Out
one
to
going
22 South.
Yeah.
past
Oh,
the
okay.
wastewater treatment.
Because
facility,
Railroad
right?
is the
Like
one that goes
parallel.
right by the sewer plant and
That's Railroad Street?
Railroad Ave, I think.
Yeah, I think it's an
Don't hold me to that one, but
Okay.
Turns out I need a road map, but I'll do some. If there's a yield sign that pops up somewhere completely irrelevant to this conversation, I'm very sorry. We'll get
Ethan
it.
might be able to help it, brother.
Yeah. I'm confident that I can
is there
figure this out.
a certain amount of feet before you get to to a reduced speed that you have to be from one sign to the other? Because the 30-mile-an-hour sign is still there. Is there a amount
We
of
have a-
feet?
we have a-
There
300.
is, I think it's, don't quote me on that, I think it's 100 feet, but you have to look at featuring and all that.
We have those details in the office. We've got a book about that thick with
Okay.
how far the stop signs need to be back from the intersection, how far off the road. There's a whole bunch
What
of
they
different
call the orange book or
scenarios.
something like that.
What's that?
Isn't it called the orange book or something like that?
Yeah, we have a couple of them in the office.
'Cause I want to say that was all done like 20 years ago when Judy helped do all the signs over on that side of town.
Did anybody talk to Damon about sitting in on the Rutland Regional Transportation Committee meetings? Okay, not yet. Let's bring it on him. Huh? He'll love it.
He'll benefit. It's over the town.
Okay.
So that's it for everything else we had cooking. Do you have other,
I have nothing else. Nope.
any public comment?
Yeah, I went to the 2026 Rutland Regional Planning meeting. Oh, I went to the Rutland 2026 Regional Planning meeting, and it was pretty much the same as the first one. There was very few people there in attendance. So, but when I brought up the short-term rental and that we had a unit, multi-unit structure go short-term rental because of an adverse rental situation that the landlord went through, they were particularly interested in that because they're looking to expand housing, as Nancy knows. And the problem is that there's no controls. If somebody builds low-income housing or affordable housing, there's no controls to keep it for long-term rental. They could go short-term rental with it if they wanted to. And they want like some 900 or so additional units for Rutland County very shortly. And the average per year in Rutland County anyway is about 50-something. And so why are they thinking of this massive number of growth of housing when the average organic growth level is so small? It's part of a plan that they have to stipulate, and the state wants them to have this plan. But the state wants to have all this extra housing, and they're scratching their head as everybody else. One of the resistance factors is that people don't want to have changes in their villages with a lot of extras housing. But that's the report. That's really what they did.
Okay, thanks for sharing that with us, Frank. Anybody else? since Bob's not here, Tom, you can take it.
I'd make a motion that we adjourn the meeting.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you all for coming.